So far, we've only been working with code and properties of objects, but we have not worked with any external assets like images. In this video, we'll add a background image to our app. To do this, we need to add the image as a resource to the project, and then create an image brush that uses the image and applies it to the object. Let's start by adding an image to our project. Again, just like previous videos, if you're continuing from the last video, you can keep the project that you currently have open. Or you can open the Start project from the exercise files. If you look at the Solution Explorer, you'll see that there is a folder called Assets. If we open this folder, you'll see that there are some images and bitmaps that are already in there. These are where you place images that are used in your project. The images that are here now are placeholder images for our application icon, which we'll customize in a future chapter. In order to work with an image in our project, it needs to be added. We can do that here in the Solution Explorer. We're going to right-click the Assets folder, select Add, Existing Item. From here, navigate to where you save the exercise files. You'll see a folder called Assets. There's a JPEG image in here called App Background Image. Select it and click Add. You'll see that the image is added to the folder in the Solution Explorer. Now that it is added, we can start working with it and add it to our layout. We've been working so far in the title panel or content panel sections of the main page.xaml file. But if you go to the top, you'll see that all these are located within a grid object called Layout Root. The layout root is the parent layout container for the entire application, which is why it's listed first in the file. Since we want to add a background image, we want to apply it to the layout root, so it will be visible in all the sections of the app. Let's start by selecting the layout grid component and open the Properties panel. In the Properties panel, we applied colors to backgrounds before. In code, these are referred to as solid color brushes. Images are also brushes. In this case, they are called image brushes. We can add an image brush to our layout by selecting the Image Brush option. Now, let's select our image. The Image Source dropdown shows the contents of our Assets folder, so we can select App Background Image.jpg. By default, the stretch setting will be Fill. This will fill the area with the image, but this could distort the image if it isn't proportionally the same as the box it is being placed within. With Windows Phone 8, there are 3 resolutions. Each resolution has a different height or width, so while it may look good here, on another device, it might not look right. We can change the stretch setting to Uniform. This will place the image so it won't scale incorrectly, but it accomplishes this by stretching the pixels in the sides to fill the space, in this case at the top and bottom. The final option, which is what we want, is called Uniform to Fill. This will scale the image, but keep it proportionally correct and center it within the area. Now we have one final thing to change. As you can see, the image is pretty intense in color, and it can be hard to see with the text on top. We can apply an opacity or transparency setting to the image brush to darken it slightly. The opacity setting is hidden by default, but if you click the chevron, you'll be able to expand this and show the opacity value. In this field, we're going to change opacity to 70. There, now we have the right intensity and we can read the controls on top. Now in the previous video, we talked a little bit about the accent color of the phone and how it can be changed. In addition to that, the user can also change if they want the phone to have a dark background or a light background. We can see what the app will look like with a light background using the Device panel. Let's go ahead and open up the Device flyout, and we can change the theme from dark to light. You'll now see that the app has switched colors on us. Now instead of white text on black, we have black text on white. You'll notice, though, that the intensity of the background image is still applied, making the controls and text still legible even though we've changed the theme. It is important to consider how theme adjustments can affect your app. If we were hard-coding the color values to make everything white, we would have an unusable app if the user preferred a light theme. This is why working with static resources and previewing them in various scenarios can really help prevent design challenges. So let's look back. In this video, we covered how to work with external assets. External assets like images need to be added to a project before you can use them. You do this using the Solution Explorer and add the existing item to the Assets folder. We then access the Layout Root Grid component, which is the top parent layout container for the project, and added an image brush to the component. After selecting the image, we adjusted the stretch properties to get the right look, and then adjusted the opacity to create a good balance with the rest of the app. Finally, to preview what this would look like with a light-colored theme, we used the Device menu to change the theme from dark to light. So that was a lot of work, but now that we have the user interface complete, we can now start building the logic for our application, which we'll use using C#.